Nepal is the destination of a lifetime for thousands of adventurers from all over the world. But the things that make it so attractive, like its remote villages and undeveloped cities, are tonight making it heartbreakingly ill-equipped to deal with the aftermath of an epic natural disaster. The earthquake on the weekend has killed more than 3,000 people, and many more are still missing, including Australians. Some of those are no doubt alive, but simply unable to contact their families to let them know they're okay. The living are slowly trickling down from the mountains, and they're bringing incredible tales of survival, in some cases much to the relief of their loved ones back here. Harvey reports.
In Nepal's capital, the tourist's shaky video captures the moment that calm becomes chaos.
The ground is shaking.
160 kilometres away, high on Everest's side, a German climber films the final moments of the crowded base camp.
Oh, oh.
For a few seconds, no one knows what's coming.
No.
At least 18 climbers lie dead or dying in the debris field. Australian mountaineer Scott Stewart is up here somewhere.
I spoke to him on the Friday night. He'd just arrived at base camp, so he was pretty excited about getting there. And then I knew on the Saturday morning he was due to leave base camp and trek further up. I just wasn't sure which way he was going.
He was trekking with three mates from Brisbane.
Well, he's always wanted to climb base camp, so I said, go for it. You're only young, and while you're fit and healthy, just go for it. So he's been planning it for a number of years.
From Brisbane, Scott's wife Nicole watched the first reports of the quake come in.
I was at my parents' house and I was on Facebook just sort of scrolling through, and somebody had given a link to a video that was in Nepal with the earthquake, in Kathmandu with the earthquake. And I just went, oh my God, Mum, there's been an earthquake in Kathmandu. What's that mean for the guys on the mountain? And she's like, oh no, And then I think it was probably about an hour later, I started reading about the avalanches and everything happening, and that it had hit base camp. And that's when I started panicking, thinking, oh God, where were they?
The thin tents at the foot of Everest offered no shelter from the tons of rock and ice thrown down the mountain. The earthquake that set off the Everest avalanches was centred close to Kathmandu. Now, 2 days after Nepal was shaken to its core, the scale of the tragedy is emerging.
The latest advice from the Nepalese government puts the death toll at over 3,200, the number of injured at almost 6,000, and it's apparent that these figures are likely to rise.
Tonight it's been confirmed that Melbourne woman Renu Photodar was one of those killed in the Everest avalanche. Also among the dead, the brother of Cairns man Som Tamang.
Yesterday I heard from a mutual friend of our families that my brother has been stuck in the landslide when he was coming back from school work, and we believe that he's didn't manage to survive this disaster.
His family live in a village outside Kathmandu where his sister runs a school.
About 18 other children who live with my family in that house with my sister. They're fine, but 2 kids has been trapped in the building rubble, and they've been managed to pull them out, and one is seriously injured, have a bad head injury and bleeding face injury, but I haven't heard, so I wouldn't know if she's still keeping her life or...
In Kathmandu, thousands of locals are sleeping on the streets, alongside the dead entombed in the rubble. Rescuers and aid agencies are starting to arrive in a nation that was in deep trouble before this earthquake. The job ahead is enormous. Tonight, there are still Australians unaccounted for. Families aren't assuming the worst because it's likely their loved ones are merely uncontactable. trekking in remote areas or staying where phone lines are down.
We kept on trying to call, and I jumped on social media and online, just trying to find news articles and find more details.
Nikki Chamberlain's mum, Sue, was due to be at Everest Base Camp at the time of the quake. Her group changed their plans because of weather.
For whatever reason, the consensus in the group and the recommendation from Angrita and the other guides and porters was to maybe not go up today. Maybe we should take the time to go down. So thank God, huge relief. She was in disbelief really about how lucky they were.
Good news too for Nicole Stewart. Her husband Scott was finally able to make contact. The Brisbane trekkers were alive.
He said the actual roar of the avalanche was just, in his words, amazing. I know where they were staying at one point, one of the buildings collapsed and one of the floors that one of the guys was staying in collapsed, but luckily he wasn't in there.
They're now walking back out.
I think they're pretty much running on a bit of an adrenaline high. I don't think he understands how much the earthquake has impacted the whole country. I don't think he's sort of seen the devastation that we've seen on our TVs as yet. So I think that's still yet to hit him when he gets back to Kathmandu.
From Cairns, Som Tamang is preparing to go back in to help his devastated country.
I believe that people of Nepal have forgotten how dangerous it could be in the earthquake, and they were never prepared.